Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Thanks for joining us. Great to have you with us. December 4th. College football just about at an end already. Seems like we're psyched that it was beginning. Now here it is. I mean, we already have the playoffs announced. So that's all settled.
Yeah, it's nothing controversial either.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Consensus.
Nowhere near consensus. It's too bad that they didn't start the 12-team tournament sooner than this. Because really tough to pick 4 teams this year. Really tough. And if this would have been the 12-team year, Keith, I don't think there's any doubt BYU and Nebraska would have been included.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you and I would be arguing over who's the 11 seed, who's the 12 seed.
But still, we'd definitely be
in it.
At 5 and 7, some of the best 5 and 7 teams in the world.
I mean, that's the new mantra for my team, Nebraska.
Yeah.
I mean, we say that every year.
Name a better 5 and 7 team.
Can't do it.
You can't.
Yep.
So anyway, Michigan, right? They got the number 1 seed, I believe.
Correct. Yeah.
Followed by Washington.
Yep.
Both unbeaten. Then you got your Texas Longhorns.
Okay.
And the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Boy.
Alabama made it again because they beat Georgia over the weekend, and that eliminated, apparently, Georgia from the playoff contention.
Yeah. Wow. Condolences to Florida State fans. Congratulations
Boy, did they get jobbed.
on winning
Holy
your
cow.
conference, undefeated Power 5 conference. You didn't make the
Never happened before.
Yeah.
And I think it's partly based on the fact that they don't have a quarterback right now.
Well,
all right.
Didn't Ohio State win a national title with a third-string quarterback once? You got to put them in, right?
You do. I don't know.
2014.
Would you rather see Florida State in there than Alabama?
That's not the question, Pat.
What's the question?
Question is,
would you rather see them in there than Texas?
That's not the question, Pat.
I'm sorry, what is the question then?
The question is, how do you keep an undefeated team out of the playoff? I just assumed it was a given.
How. You just do.
I just assumed it was a given that they were going to be the 3 seed. I put a poll on Sunday morning before the College Football Playoff Committee announced their deal, and I just assumed it was going to be 1 Michigan, 2 Washington, 3 Florida State. And then I was like, all right, so who do you put in at 4?
Yeah.
Sorry, Florida State.
Yeah, I was kind of assuming that myself.
Yeah, so, I mean, you say you can't put Alabama ahead of Texas because Texas beat Alabama, and that game was in Alabama, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, but Texas lost to Oklahoma on a neutral site. Right here in the old fairgrounds.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
They're in the Texas State Fair. And then we got the Georgia Bulldogs. Their big sin was that they lost to Alabama at the worst possible time.
Yeah. Yep.
And Georgia's, if I remember correctly, Georgia had more wins against top 20 opponents than the other 2 teams there. What a mess.
They were also number 1 virtually all season. They won 29 straight, I think it was.
Yeah, and their loss was
29 straight.
3 points to Alabama on a neutral field.
I mean, everybody's got a case. They certainly do.
Ohio
Florida
State's got a case.
Absolutely does. Ohio State does. It's tough.
It is very tough.
It's a tough one this year.
I did think it was fun during the championship weekend, the Iowa bar, I think it was Cedar Rapids, that said, hey, we're giving away free beers until Iowa scores. Iowa was shut out by Michigan. So
what was the final on that?
26-0.
Oh, 26.
So this bar gave away free beers all night long. Whoops.
Except, no.
No, because Iowa never scored.
Right. Oh, okay. So
yeah,
it was free beer. I thought it was free beer if they scored.
No. Until they score.
Oh, okay, wow.
And they didn't.
Well, they still haven't. So is he still giving away free beer?
I guess Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Head on down to 4th and Main. I have no idea.
Free beer till next season, at least.
At least.
And maybe beyond.
Anyway, so congratulations to... And a case could be made. Michigan shouldn't even be there with the cheating scandal thing, right? The sign stealing or whatever, yeah, that's an investigation still going on.
Hard to leave the Big Ten champion out of it, though.
I know.
Pretty tough. You can't do that.
I'm just saying, Washington should be saying, hey, we're the only ones not sullied here.
Yeah.
Give it to us.
They're pretty legit. I mean, they had some tough games, some close games, but so what? They won them all. Man, it's crazy.
It is.
It just shows you the stupidity of the system right now. Mm-hmm. And it'll be a lot better next year. It still won't be perfect. There'll still be people left out, I'm sure. But it'll be a lot better. I mean, 12 teams, if you went 12 deep this year, I think you could include everybody who is really deserving. Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean,
I think 12 is enough.
have Oregon, Ohio State, Missouri would be in there. Yeah, and
Right.
then you could argue about 11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
Have you seen some of the names now on some of these bowls? The Cricket Celebration Bowl?
What?
Obviously, the RL Carriers New Orleans Bowl. That seems like a heritage bowl at this point, right? Avocados from Mexico has a bowl.
Oh, my gosh.
The Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl. By the way, Nebraska would gladly take any of these invites.
So would BYU.
Famous Toastery Bowl? What's a toast? What is that?
The famous Toastery Bowl. This is embarrassing.
Scooter's Coffee Frisco Bowl. Roofclaim.com Bowl, Pat.
That's exciting.
That's going to be a barn burner with South Florida and Syracuse. Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl.
Oh, finally.
They should just call that the George O'Leary Bowl. That's Georgia Tech UCF. Famous Idaho Potato Bowl, as you well know.
We've had that for a while.
Again, that's like a legacy at this point,
Yes,
right?
it is.
The SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl, Easy Post Hawaii Bowl, Guaranteed Rate Bowl, Wasabi Fenway Bowl. I don't know.
Okay.
Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl, Pop-Tarts Bowl. All right. Looks like K-State and North Carolina State there. Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. It's great. Transperfect Music City Bowl. Okay. ReliaQuest Bowl. Cheez-It Citrus Bowl? Anyway, there you go. So, again, none of these will feature Nebraska.
Can we stop with the stupid 5-year-old or 10-year-old Cheez-It commercial in every
the locker room thing?
Single football. Yes.
Yeah.
Where the blocks of cheese are wearing shoulder pads and helmets and stuff.
That's fun. That's cute.
It was stupid the first time.
Yeah.
It's really insane now, 5 years down the road, and it plays every break. Like literally every break. Driving me out of my mind. I was born the cheesiest, or I woke up being the cheesiest coach. Okay. All right. Wow, that's really clever.
That's
awesome.
Clever.
But, I'm not a big football guy anyway.
No.
I've always been a big basketball fan. And
what's that? What? Yeah. Okay. Sure.
You know this about me. If there's one thing that people know, it's that I don't even pay attention to football.
You don't even care about
football.
care. Spring game is 99 days away? No.
Basketball is my deal, where BYU is now ranked 6th in the Ken Pomeroy ratings system.
That's cool. Good.
Number 6.
That's good.
This is kind of fun, though, because going into the season, they were picked 13th out of 14 Big 12 teams. Now they're ahead of every Big 12 team except Houston, at least in this.
Okay.
They won't be in the AP, but they're ranked in AP as well.
Oh, real quick, we forgot to play the clip of when there was all this drama on who was going to be the 4 playoff teams, and there was a camera there with the Michigan players. So who were they, the number 1 seed, going to have to play the 4 seed? They probably wanted Florida State. And watch what the mood was like when they found out their opponent was going to be Alabama. Here we go. Gas.
Oops.
Okay.
So
here we go.
Seriously, they got the worst draw of anyone.
Yeah.
And they're the number 1 seed.
So if you're scoring at home, Michigan versus Alabama winner will take on the Washington, Texas winner for the national championship. I think it's January 8th.
That's going to be an interesting semifinal round, though. I'm looking forward to that. Both games are on New Year's Day, right? Both the semifinal games.
Pretty sure.
And then the championship's on the 8th, January 8th.
Okay.
Which is going to be here really soon.
And you and I are going to the
ready.
Nebraska BYU bowl game.
Right.
Together.
Yes. Yeah. The Charmin bathroom tissue toilet bowl, where 5 and 7 teams will clash.
Talk about annoying commercials. We're gonna have to watch the stupid cartoon bear family every break.
Yeah.
My butt is all sore now.
Enjoy the go. Okay, can we please not?
Dad's in the bathroom again.
Can we not talk about bears pooping and wiping themselves? I just, is it just me?
Now we know the answer to the question: do bears poop in the forest? Clearly not.
No,
they have houses.
go in their
their
house,
bathroom, right? They
in
get
their
indoor
toilet.
plumbing. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? They're barbarians? No. Hey, COP28 is going on now. Thankfully,
Yes.
because as we all know, the planet is being absolutely destroyed.
You know it.
By CO2. And how hot is it in your area right now? I can't even imagine, because it's been so hot.
Brutal.
It was, I don't know, 50s, maybe the 60s over the weekend.
I mean, it got to 37
at night?
yesterday morning. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
A little chilly.
what I love about the COP28 situation, they finally chose a warm destination for this.
They learned their lesson.
Where it was almost certain that there wasn't going to be snow while they're talking about global warming. However, with all the private jets flying into the desert for this, they were all coming from, a lot of them were coming from cold weather places where it's dang cold.
Oh, yeah.
And snowy.
Yep.
And there's a shot, I believe.
We got clip 2. You want to see the private
Yeah.
jet that was
Let's
on its way to the event.
Okay, in Munich, Germany, maybe?
It's on the runway in Munich.
Okay.
And they got a snow and an ice problem there, and now the plane is stuck to the runway, frozen solid. Look at
Literally frozen to the tarmac.
that. That's awesome.
As it's trying to head out for the global warming conference.
Right. Hey, you know what,
Gosh.
Joe? Play. I want Pat to play a game here. Name this European country. Clip 21. Where do you think over a foot of snow is? Where's this? Clip 21, please. If you could.
And
name that country, Pat.
Okay.
What country? It's Europe. I'll give you a hint. It's
it is
Europe.
somewhere in Europe. Look at that. Looks to be about a foot, right?
Yeah, it's over a foot.
Over a foot of snow. And I'm going to
Beautiful.
say
Just beautiful.
it's obviously a cold weather climate.
Exactly. Maybe a Scandinavian country, you'd think. Right?
Maybe. Yeah, Finland. Sweden.
Your final answer.
No, I'm going to say Finland.
It's the United Kingdom. That's Great Britain.
It's not great.
Yeah, show the map. Look at that.
60% snow cover in Europe right now. I think it's the most since 2010.
That's about right, yeah.
And it says right there. Europe hasn't seen a snow cover like this since 2010.
Yeah.
60% is blanketed in white.
Yeah, and you see that little speck, Northern Britain. I think either that's where that shot was from, or actually that screenshot, I think, was early in the weekend before that snow started falling. So it may be more than 60% covered at this point, quite honestly.
It probably is.
How cool is that?
But that won't make any difference to any of the douchebags who are meeting right now at COP28. Did you see, though, the head douchebag of the conference?
Wait, is that John Kerry?
No.
Oh, because we have a clip of him, but who's this you're talking about?
No, yeah, but let's play the John Kerry.
Oh, John Kerry, okay.
And then we'll talk about the
Other douche?
president
More
of
douches.
COP28.
Okay.
But let me just tell you bluntly,
Okay, tell us.
when the best scientists in the world
Right.
unanimously
Okay.
are telling us as leaders in
Pause
our
it.
countries.
It's not unanimous. For the love of heaven. And the billionth time. It's not unanimous. There is not consensus on this.
Remember, while he's saying this, remember what's happening in Europe.
Right.
We showed you the plane on the tarmac. We showed you
Frozen
the
to
snow
the runway.
in Britain. And in fact, no wind, no sun, coldest day of the year in Britain was happening while he's speaking. So gas and nuclear was what was powering, keeping British residents warm. So anyway, Germany was going through this. I mean, it's just an energy nightmare on top of this tragic weather that they're having.
Right. All right, let's hear this.
That we are on the brink of
What?
tipping points
Tipping points.
Okay.
from which you cannot come back.
Pause it again. We've been on the brink of tipping points for about 40 years, according to these guys. They've been screaming about this since, I don't know, before 1990. I remember Rush Limbaugh talking about what these morons were saying back then about it. They've been trying to get us fired up over this forever. And we have the same situation we've always had. We have cycles of weather. That's what this planet does, and that's what it's always done. I don't know if I can get through this.
You have to get to what he is saying
Let's
about
try.
the temperature in Antarctica.
All right.
That the permafrost,
Here we go.
or the Barents Sea ice,
Right.
or the coral reefs,
The coral reefs.
or most
Very
importantly,
healthy,
the
by the way.
Arctic and the Antarctic
Here we go.
Yes.
may be at tipping point or beyond.
Maybe.
Maybe.
At
Last summer, it was 70 degrees Fahrenheit above normal in the Arctic. It was 100 degrees Fahrenheit above normal in the Antarctic. And a massive component of ice that had been lodged in the mud because it was so heavy, it was stuck there, has now melted sufficiently that it's risen and moving across the southern ocean towards Georgia Island, and it will melt
Oh my
and
gosh.
accelerate the sea level rise of the planet.
Okay.
So
Again, we've been hearing
this
this
year,
for
we just learned
decades.
yesterday, it was confirmed,
What's
it's
up with
not
his
when
mouth?
we learned it,
All
was
right.
the hottest year in history, human history, that we
No,
measured.
that's what you say every year,
But
and it's just not
that's
true.
now of every year almost.
Yeah, there you go.
For the
He
last
admitted
30
it.
You got there.
Uh-huh.
Decades, 3 decades ago was the third now warmest. The second
no.
decade was the second warmest, and this last decade
That's the
the
warmest
in history.
in
So I'm not gonna
history
say more
ever
about it,
on this planet.
except to
not
say that
gonna
if
say
we
more.
can't hear Mother Nature and can't judge with our own eyes what the science is telling us.
Right,
This
then
is
what
not
happens?
about politics.
No,
There's
of course
no
it is.
ideology.
Oh, my.
There's no pejorative.
It's
against
your
any one
religion.
business or any
What are you
approach.
talking about?
There is simply mathematics and physics,
Mathematics.
and some chemistry,
I can't
and
take
biology.
it. I can't.
he just
take
got
it.
That is what we are acting on.
He just got done saying, I'm not going to say anything more about it. Then shut the hell up, man.
Right. He can't.
Oh,
He can't. They've got to continue to lie.
Can you help me out? Because this is going to involve a little bit of Keith math, but I want to run something by you. If it's 70 to 100 degrees above normal in these, polar ice caps, right? Then shouldn't it stand to reason that the temperature here in Texas, like if it's 70 to 100 degrees warmer here, then we're probably going to be all dead any minute now,
Yeah.
right? So. But the same climate cultists, the same group, they're in the same circle as the oh my gosh, our planet's so crowded group, right?
Yeah.
So if it's that much warmer at the poles, is that not opening up more places for people to live? Shouldn't they be excited about that?
Well, no,
no.
Keith, because that all of that melting ice is going to create such a problem with rising seas.
Rising seas.
Do you know that the ocean level could increase by about 20 feet within the next 50 years if we're not careful, if we don't do something about it?
Okay.
That's what they want you to believe.
Well,
That's what
they're going to do something about it because John Kerry,
they're doing things about
he
it.
announced at COP28 that here in America, we're going to shut down coal plants. We're going to keep new coal plants from being built.
Right.
So congratulations. If you think the cost of energy is high now, just wait.
This is kind of fun, too. The COP28 president, who is Sultan Al-Jaber, he says there's absolutely no science behind phasing out fossil fuels. Wait, what?
That's funny. I didn't even think of that, where they're doing this.
They're doing it in Saudi Arabia.
They're doing it in fossil fuel land.
Yeah. Do you think Saudi Arabia is okay with phasing out fossil fuels? That ends that country if that ever happens.
I didn't even think of that.
It puts an end to it. So he also claimed over the weekend there is no science indicating that a phase out of fossil fuels is needed to restrict global heating to 1.5 degrees Celsius. I love that. But at least they have somebody who's willing to challenge them. He said a phase out of fossil fuels would not allow sustainable development, quote, unless you want to take the world back into caves, unquote. Comments were incredibly concerning and on the verge of, they were verging on climate denial, scientists said. What scientists? And they were at odds with the position of UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. Oh, no. You don't want to be at odds with Antonio Guterres. Nobody wants that. He made the comments in an ill-tempered response to questions from Mary Robinson, chair of the Elders Group and a former UN Special Envoy for Climate Change, during a live online event on November 21st. I'm surprised they didn't ban him from this get-together. As well as running COP28 in Dubai, Al Jaber, or Al Jaber, I don't know how you pronounce his
I'm
name.
going with that one. I like that one.
Is also the chief executive of the United Arab Emirates State Oil Company, ADNOC, which many observers see as a serious conflict of interest.
What?
Huh. That's interesting.
If you just want the facts, then how is there a conflict of interest?
Yeah, I don't know. Also, there's no scientific evidence, he says, that eliminating fossil fuels would fix the problem. There's also no scientific evidence that fossil fuels are, in fact, fossil fuels. As we've said here, about 100 times, I believe that it is a renewable resource. I believe that it's some kind of goo that's created in the earth, and that's why we keep finding more. Every time we hit peak oil, they find more. And more and more.
It's funny how that happens.
And more. It's amazing to me how this happens. But it's kind of fun that they had Saudi Arabia and one of the sheikhs in Saudi Arabia. Well, he actually is from United Arab Emirates, but it's fascinating to me that they held it in an oil country. What do you think they're going to say? You think they're going to say, yeah, you know what? We should switch from fossil fuels right now. We should stop using oil this minute, and that would bankrupt our nation. Wouldn't that be great? Mm-hmm. All right. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Also, let me tell you about Raycon. Just take a minute. They got a big holiday sale event going on at Raycon. I love these things. These are great products. They help me find some peace during hectic times. Earbuds that will let you take premium audio wherever you go. If you're going to go jogging, walking, you're in your car, you're at your house, you don't want to disturb anybody else, just put in these earbuds and listen to whatever you want.
And it feels like there's like a gift-giving holiday coming up soon. Am I wrong on that?
Does. No, you're not. Okay. I don't believe you are wrong on that.
I sense that. Okay.
I think some people do exchange gifts around this time of year. So I love these. The everyday earbuds, known for delivering high quality and really thoughtful features like a 32-hour battery life and a perfect in-ear fit for all-day wear and lasting comfort. And they stay in your ears because they come with a whole bunch of various sizes.
Oh, that's helpful.
For the little gel tips on the earbuds. Raycon first made a name for themselves in the audio space. This past year, they expanded their entire business with the introduction of Raycon PowerTech and Raycon Home. And I can't wait to check out their Magic 180 charging cable, which provides hyper-speed charging to iOS, micro USB, and Type-C devices. Rotates 180 degrees. It's built for durability. And their faucet filter, which removes 99.9% of all contaminants, bacteria, and chemicals in your sink water. Amazing. So go to buyraycon.com/gray right now. You'll get 15% off your entire Raycon order. Perfect for last-minute gifts or to ring in the new year. That's buyraycon, B-U-Y, raycon.com/gray, and you'll get 15% off your Raycon product.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
The lies continue in COP28. Lies that we are subjected to and have been subjected to for decades now. And I'm just pretty tired of it. It's nice to see somebody stand up against them, somebody in a power position, somebody who can, I don't know, bring a little bit of common sense and stop them from continuing to say that there's not even consensus within the COP28 community. What are you talking about? There's absolute unanimity of thought. Really? And it's weird that the president of this organization claims that there's no scientific proof to what you're saying. Also, over the weekend, guided missile destroyer USS Carney, which is in the South Bay of the Suda Bay of Greece, and then it is sailing around that entire area into the Red Sea, trying to shoot down these drones that are threatening shipping in the Red Sea, and it potentially marks a major escalation in a series of maritime attacks in the Mideast linked to the Israeli-Hamas war. This is the Houthi rebels in Yemen,
boy.
and they're making a real nuisance of themselves.
These are the Iran-backed
Yes.
Houthi rebels, right? Mm-hmm. So just think that if you remember when the people in Iran, there was an uprising in the summer of 2009.
Yeah.
Barack Obama had just taken office, and he refused
Gave
to
them
even
no support
acknowledge
whatsoever.
the movement.
Yep. Didn't at all.
If he had dealt with this in his first term, then it wouldn't be such a nuisance here in his third term. See?
Yeah, I do see that.
You should have paid attention to that.
I do see that.
But yeah, I mean,
interesting,
they
isn't
are
it?
really trying to drag us into this war.
They
way or another.
desperately want it, and it looks to be working. I mean, we are attacking back. We're hitting them on a spotty basis, but the destroyer, the USS Carney, shot down at least 3 drones yesterday that were on their way to attack the shipping vessels. They're just trying to shut down shipping. They're trying to do whatever damage they can possibly do. Fortunately, they don't have the greatest of weaponry, so we got that going for us. I mean, some of their stuff, I think one of the ships was hit at least once and maybe a few times, and there was minimal damage to it. So I don't know how advanced their weaponry is, but apparently not too.
If you're the Biden administration, what do you want out of this? Like, do you want a war? Because you're facing a difficult prospect for re-election.
Right.
And obviously a
And
president...
that could unite the country.
Well, yeah, a president at war typically gets re-elected, right?
Typically. Yeah.
So I have no doubt that this administration of Marxists wants a war after November of 2024. I don't know if they want one before. I'm not sure yet.
Who knows?
But who
knows?
It's going to be interesting to see if we can stay out of this.
Obviously, Democrats know they're in some kind of trouble because every poll tells them so. Every poll tells them that Biden is behind. I think I saw one last week where he pulled ahead of Trump in one isolated poll. All the rest of them have shown over and over and over again he's behind.
Was that the ballot Dropbox poll?
Yeah, probably.
Was that
It probably was.
the Dominion voting machines sponsored poll?
Could have been, yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's ahead in that one.
Also, Liz Cheney sat down with CBS News. And,
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Is she the one that lost like 66 to 29?
In her own state?
Yeah.
And now she's making noise that she might run for president?
Oh, away, Liz.
She can't even win in her own state. But she warned about America, America's prospects, if we reelect Donald Trump as president.
Oh, no, tell me.
Cut 3.
You say Donald Trump, if he is reelected, it will be the end of the republic. What do you mean?
He's told us what he will do.
What will he do?
It's very easy to
He'll end the
see the
republic?
steps that he will take.
Yeah.
People who say, well, if he's elected, it's not that dangerous because we have all of these checks and balances, don't fully understand the extent to which the Republicans in Congress today have been co-opted.
Oh, I see.
One of the things that we see happening today is a sort of a sleepwalking into dictatorship in the United States.
Huh. That's interesting.
No, it's pretty much out there. It's Joe Biden.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine? It's the Republican Party that's the real problem here, not the communists in the Democrat
Woman's
Party.
on crack, man.
Wow. Really bad. Really, really bad. Speaking of Trump, Biden was out talking about the former president. We'll get into that coming up in just a minute or two here.
She's not my type.
Unleashed.
A couple of tweets here. By the way, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Well, Pat had sent this over to us from Sasquatch Cougar.
Okay.
Why don't I ever get my threads read on the show?
Oh, bro.
I post on Threads as much as Jeffy leaves the fridge closed.
Okay.
Everyone gets their X's read or their tweets, but never my threads.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
You're shouting into an empty well over there.
And yet, first time for everything. DMXDM, college football at the top level isn't about competition. It's about money. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It won't matter if there are 64 teams in the playoffs. It still won't be a popularity. It will still be a popularity contest. Jolly old Pathead. I miss the days when we only had 10 bowls and they didn't start until after Christmas. And the most commercially named bowl was the Astro Bluebonnet Bowl. Those were the days. Good times. Mm-hmm. Kara 3022, my West Virginia Mountaineers will face off against the North Carolina Tar Heels in, wait for it, the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
All right.
Wow.
Do the kids go home with like jars of mayonnaise or something?
You can only hope. Dream. Adrian Slade, how did John Kerry go from swift boat communist to climate expert? The answer? He's still a communist.
Still a communist. What's going on with his face? I mean, Jeffy talks about 3 cuts to clown face. How many cuts has John Kerry had?
30?
I mean, look, bro, swollen mouth.
Yeah.
There's a
weird.
lot going on there.
Yeah. The guy's, he's got to be pushing 80.
Oh, sure.
But apparently he doesn't want to look at, and he's done some work.
Remember,
Good for him.
thank you to Ohio. Keeping us from
oh my gosh,
one state away from a John Kerry presidency back in 2004. He's 79 years old. Mm-hmm. December 11th. So he's about to be 80. You're right. Yep.
Okay. Adrian Slade. We already did Adrian. Novocaine for the soul. When will John Kerry address the real issue behind climate change? We all know the biggest concern is how it will impact food stocks.
All right.
That's for sure. Poisoned food stocks and generally ravaged the countryside, South Vietnam. Pat's Potato has eyes. Is there any concern that Antarctica might tip over and capsize? I'm not sure, but I do know that we've had some volcanic activity here.
I'm going to make your day.
Okay.
I am going to make your day. So
Please
watch
do.
this. We got the Indonesian volcano happening. I don't know if you saw this. I mean, that's a big boy there, I think. Now, as I was watching this video yesterday, I was thinking of that same part of the world. Do you remember back in 1991-ish, I think it was, Mount Pinatubo went up in the Philippines?
Yeah.
Well, I'll have you know, mister, that winter we had a lot of snow in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh.
Because the ash was blocking the warmth of the sunlight.
Right.
You see?
I do see.
So you got all the people who are at COP28, which, by the way, doesn't that bug anybody else that it doesn't line up with the year?
Yeah. It's bizarre.
Okay. Maybe we'll get a cooler winter here. Maybe some of that ash in that part of the world.
Mm-hmm. That'd be nice.
Am I making you you look
Yeah.
forward to a little bit more of a winter?
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
Hope so.
that didn't land
Hopefully.
with quite the impact I anticipated. I thought
We'll see. I mean, we'll see. I don't want to get too carried away.
Right. Okay. So let me throw one more thing. I follow I'm a weather geek. And so I follow a lot of weather-minded folks on Twitter. I've seen more than once now, at least twice, maybe 3 times now, people talking about 2 weeks from now, cold air around the first part of, around December 18th. Cold air that's bottled up in the North Pole area going to spill southward.
Oh, I hope so.
Bring just in time for Christmas.
Yeah, bring it.
Bring it, please.
Bring it.
We need it.
Joe Biden was out talking about Donald Trump, and apparently Donald Trump served in Congress. Who knew? Here's
instead of cutting
Joe.
them, like Congressman Trump and Bob want to do.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry.
I don't know what he's talking about.
It's like Congressman Trump and Bump and so.
That's the only thing that was coherent there was Congressman Trump and Boebert.
Instead of cutting them, like Congressman Trump and Bob want to do.
Boebert really do.
Instead of cutting something, what?
One more time.
Instead of cutting them, like Congressman Trump and Bob want to do.
I don't remember when Donald Trump served in Congress.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that as well.
But you learn something new every day on this program.
Don't you, though? That must be an alternate timeline. It's one of those multiverse things. He was a congressman in one of them.
Is Nebraska in a bowl game in that timeline?
Yes, and so is Bev. In fact, they're playing BYU in that alternate. And they're
National
both unbeaten.
All right.
Yeah.
I like this timeline.
They went directly to the national championship game. So it's kind of cool. If only we lived in that multiverse area. Biden also did an interview where he said Republicans like Trump have been taking away the freedoms.
Oh, Congressman Trump?
In America.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We are the most prosperous nation in the world. Our economy is stronger than any other nation in the world. And we have more freedom up until this group came along.
What?
And what's at stake now is freedom, not just freedom of choice.
Oh, jeez.
The Party of Freedom, Democrats.
Gotta be kidding me. Wow.
It's fun, right?
Wow. The lies really pile up, don't they, with these wonderful people? And he continues to lie about having taught in college. Dude, this has been debunked by multiple, even the liberal rags like Washington Post and New York Times said this guy did not teach in college. But here he is.
I taught at the University of Pennsylvania for 4 years. And I also taught at law school. And
what?
The idea that democracy is inevitable is just not true.
Oh, my gosh.
How many classes has he taught? Grand total, showed up, taught a class.
Yeah, okay. Carry the one.
You got to carry that one, bro.
None.
That's right.
0. Not one day, let alone 4 years.
Not one class.
Not one class, not one day has this guy taught as a professor or anything else in college.
Well, but I just learned that he taught for 4 years, and on top of that, bro, he taught at the law school too. That's what I just learned.
Top of that.
I just learned that.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I think the law school claim is a new one, isn't it?
Yeah, I haven't heard him mix that one in.
But why wouldn't you want to keep this guy in office? Look at the economy. It is awesome. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Who doesn't want to keep this going?
Okay, let's see.
Here's an interesting fact about Bidenomics. Look at this particular graph.
Oh, yeah, look at that. I love this. So they're not even using the term Bidenomics anymore because they realize it's used as a joke.
From June through October, they used it 101 times.
Uh-huh.
In all of November, a grand total of 0 times.
That's so in Biden's speeches.
That's great.
So for 5 months, about 20 times a month.
Bidenomics.
And now 0.
And now
in November.
I just realized.
It sucks.
Bidenomics is not good. It's not like Reaganomics, which actually was good. It was great for America.
I mean, he's having to pay, this administration having to pay people. Like, remember the stupid kid and the one kid's always touching his bicep and stuff? I mean, they're paying people to go out there and tell you how awesome he is.
Yep.
Because you just don't realize how awesome you have it.
Yeah.
Under this administration. It's just bad.
Well, you're ingrates. Yeah. I mean, he works and he works and he works.
And he works, right. And here's a fun fact. The Congress Joint Economic Committee estimates that Bidenflation, I love how you can turn Biden into any word. Bidenflation has cost, in October, cost the average American family $953 extra. So in other words, every month you're paying an extra $1,000 to keep up with Bidenflation. Good times, right?
Good times.
Good times.
In fact, they're great times.
Yeah. But he just talked about the other day.
Unprecedented.
He keeps cutting the deficit, man.
Yeah.
Right.
And we won't pay attention to that, I guess. I guess he's, cut spending.
Yeah. Let's see.
And by the way, we cut the deficit by $7 billion. Okay?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not okay because you didn't and you haven't. And it's been debunked, that one too, over and over.
Hold on.
And over again.
Wait, what has been debunked? That he's cut $7 billion? Because he said a lot of different things that he's cut. And
was it just the $7 billion now? Because it was $1.7 trillion.
Right. No, you got to see this montage the Republican Party put together.
All right.
Dude, man, you think I'm bad with numbers. Watch this, cat.
I cut the national debt by $1.7 trillion. We literally cut the federal debt in half by $1.4 trillion. $1.7 trillion. $1.7 trillion cut. We cut the debt by $1.7 billion in the last 2 years.
1.7 billion. Okay.
$1.7 trillion.
Trillion.
Reduced the budget by $1.7 billion.
Billion. No, 1.7 billion.
Debt. We cut the federal debt in half. Fact.
In the first 2 years of my administration, I cut the debt by $1.7 trillion. $1.7 billion. $1.7 trillion. $1.7 trillion. $1.7 trillion. $7 billion. $1.7 trillion. $1.7 billion.
Billion. Okay, 1.7. Trillion.
Not billion, trillion dollars. $1.7 trillion. Hear me? No one's ever reduced the debt that much.
Oh, my gosh.
Do you think he knows the difference between deficit and debt?
Man, no.
Okay.
I don't
I
think
just
he
wonder
does.
if that's part of it.
I really don't think he does.
Okay.
He also falsely claimed the other day that inflation was 0% last month. 0%. He wrote, inflation was 0% last month, and our economy grew by more than 5% last quarter. Bidenomics. He did use it there.
Oh.
He did use it there. So they fact-checked that, of course. And inflation was 3.2% last month. 3.2%. And growth in the economy was 2%.
Was it?
Currently, inflation is normally assessed annually, and the goal is 2%, but it's actually over 3%. And the economy did not grow by 5% last quarter. That would be pretty amazing growth, but it did not happen. So he lied twice in one tweet, which is pretty good. That's great. I mean, it's amazing that there can be room for 2 lies in 144 characters, although you can't exceed that now, right? But if Joe and the Democrats want to keep taking black votes for granted, they may want to start listening to people like this black woman in Chicago who's really sick of how things are going.
This is fun.
City of Chicago and any Republican candidate in the city of Chicago, now is your time, because we are done with the Democratic Party. Randy Johnson, Governor Pritzker, and President Biden have shown us what they think about the black community all over this country. And so we're standing here today to say, okay, if that's what it is, we with it. We don't have to support the Democratic Party.
Right.
We don't have to continue to support people who are not going to support us. And the Democratic Party here in this city, in this state, and in this country is not supporting us. You got the Republicans on one side and the Democrats on the other side. Guess what? They're part of the same bird.
That's right.
With 2 wings. So
2 wings on that bird.
It doesn't matter anymore which party we go with. But I'll tell you this, I'd rather deal with the snake that's outfitting himself of the Republican Party than the snake that's covered up in the Democratic Party.
Thank you.
We're not going to continue to stand for this. We're not going to continue to allow our state representatives, our congressmen, our aldermen, and our mayor to let us know that we don't matter. Just like you're going to show us that we're going to matter, we're going to show you. It's going to be a great day in the city of Chicago when the Democratic convention comes here, and then they found out in March that a lot of black voters took Republican ballots. Deal with that.
Deal with it.
Yes.
I like it. Good. Let's hope they follow through with that.
I just love the guy.
Wow.
2 wings on the same bird. I like that. That's good stuff.
Oh, man.
I would love it.
Oh,
please.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Oh, yeah. That hurts him a lot.
Please.
Do you have odors in your home you just can't get rid of? Well, now you can. just get the Eden Pure Thunderstorm air purifier. These little units are fantastic. It gets rid of strong odors from cooking, cigarette smoke, which is really hard to get rid of, litter boxes, trash cans, even that mildew smell from basements. No match for the Eden Pure Thunderstorm. Starts working in just seconds to clear any room of any nasty odor that you don't appreciate. You just pop up the plug-in, stick it into the wall, turn it on. Just that easy. That's why they've sold way over 350,000 of these already. Thousands of 5-star reviews online. During this week, I've got a great deal for you on your own Eden Pure Thunderstorm. Right now, you can save $200 on 3 of them for whole home protection. That's 3 units under $200. Just go to EdenPureDeals.com, EDEN PureDeals.com. Enter the discount code PAT. That's EdenPureDeals.com, discount code PAT, and you'll get free shipping.
Gray Unleashed.
Coming up, we're going to share with you a Democrat who said something I think you might actually agree with.
What?
And this guy's been somewhat surprising of late on a couple of issues.
I know, man. It's weird, bro.
Still shouldn't be in office, but but we'll take it where we can get it. You know, a glimmer of hope here and a glimmer of hope there. Pretty soon you got the light breaking through, and, we got something to hold on to, that things are going to get better.
Yeah, and by the way, you've been on the air marshals are following Americans around because they were in the same zip code as the Capitol in January of 2021.
Right now they're following somebody who's extremely dangerous.
That's right.
And you're going to be really thankful for it.
That's good. Your government at work.
Mm-hmm.
So
you will not believe
the
terrorists they've got on their watch list right now.
After you reveal who your government is keeping an eye on, you might think twice about criticizing their efforts.
You might.
And
you'll feel more secure. I know I certainly do.
Good.
With this, knowing that this person is out there just willy-nilly traveling around the country on their own.
See?
So
if we stuck with a story long enough, we'd get to the bottom of it.
Right.
And now we understand.
And now we have. We get it. All right. More coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Got a few tweets here. The Baron of Bubbles tweets, decorated our business for Christmas. Tree is 30 feet tall, and it didn't fall over.
Is he trying to flex with that tweet
apparently
on our federal government?
Yeah.
Who can't keep a Christmas tree upright? Now, is it windy in your office, though, Baron of Bubbles?
Yeah, that's a good question, because it was windy.
You see.
They now have, because of climate change, they now have wind in Washington, D.C. Unprecedented. It's unprecedented. They've never had wind there before.
Look, our irresponsible actions have consequences.
Yeah, they do. And we're experiencing them right now in catastrophic, existential climate change. From Jimmy Dimples, was that a column of volcanic ash in Indonesia or what's coming out of John Kerry's yap? I can't really tell.
Right.
I don't know. Let's see it again.
Oh.
Do we have it? And maybe volcano? We could be able to, the volcanic ash or what's coming out of his yap. It's tough.
One and the same.
I don't know.
I mean, they're both pollution, that's for sure.
And rumor had it, John Kerry was in the area. So it's possible.
Okay.
It's possible. Squatching Duck tweets regarding Joe Biden's teaching career.
Oh, yeah.
Which, of course, is extensive. Yes, they always want a guy who finished at the bottom of his law school class and lied about finishing at the top to teach law school.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Also, a former highly sought-after football recruit. Let's not forget that. The only reason he didn't wind up at Navy was because Roger Staubach wound up there. And, how could a receiver wind up where a great quarterback is? You can't. You just can't do it. Doesn't make any sense. So that's why he went to Delaware.
Depth chart, yeah.
Delaware just got eliminated, by the way, from the FCS
in the
playoffs.
snow.
In the snow. In Missoula, Montana. by the University of Montana, crushed them. It's always a treat when Democrats eat their own. It's rare, but it's a treat when it happens. And we're telling you about a senator you might actually agree with. Would you be surprised if it's John Fetterman?
Hey-o.
He was asked about Republican Congressman George Santos being expelled from Congress. That's only the 5th time in U.S. history that's happened.
Happened Friday.
5 times, and it happened Friday. I think the other two, there was one from early 2000s, 2004-ish, maybe.
Oh, I bet that was...
Traficant.
Ohio,
Yeah.
Jim Traficant.
And then there was one in 1980, and then there were a couple during the Civil War, I think it was. 1861-ish.
Oh, I wish
like
Jeffrey
that.
were here to enlighten us. He was obviously a
yeah.
reporter on the ground back then.
Right.
Young pup.
But anyway, he was asked. So Fetterman was asked on The View about George Santos, but he didn't really want to talk about Santos. He wanted to get into Bob Menendez of New Jersey. Here's what happened.
And you've also been calling to get rid of Menendez, I know. But first, before we talk about that, what's your reaction to the expulsion?
Well, it's like I'm not surprised, but to me, I think the more important picture is that we have a colleague in the Senate that actually did much more sinister and serious kinds of things. Senator Menendez, he needs to go. And if you are going to expel Santos, how can you allow to somebody like Menendez to remain in the Senate? And Santos's kind of lies were almost funny, and like he. Landed on the moon and that kind of stuff. Whereas I think Menendez I think is really a senator for Egypt, not New Jersey. So I really think he needs to go, and especially it's kind of strange that if Santos is not allowed to remain in the House, someone like that. Yeah.
Are you though uncomfortable with the fact that there hasn't been an adjudication, that while he's been charged, there hasn't been a conviction? With Menendez.
I am, and it's like he has the right for his day in court and all that, but he doesn't have the right to have those kind of votes and things that that's not a right, and I think we need to make that kind of decision to send him out.
That's amazing. You take these little victories wherever we can, right?
Send him out.
I mean, what other Democrat, what other senator has been talking about Bob Menendez and how bad that was with the gold bars, with the bribery money, with the cars, the bars, everything. Who knows? Women.
Right. And who's been a stronger defender of Israel and calling out Hamas than John Fetterman in the U.S. Senate?
Right.
I mean, and honestly, though, if the criteria for a George Santos to be expelled from Congress is that you're a liar. How do we have a
every
Congress
one of them needs to go
at all? Like, how is that even a thing?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, how is Ilhan Omar or Rashida Tlaib?
Oh my gosh!
Or we've got an Eric Swalwell, Jamal Bowman, who Santos has out there. He was tweeting about it this weekend. He's like, "Hey, I left him with the expulsion." Request on Jamal Bowman, who's going to pick up that mantle.
He's threatened to oust several.
Yes. I'm here for it.
I want him to.
Yes, both sides.
Do it.
Both sides. Go.
Do it.
Do it, please.
We should, anybody who knows about any of them should be talking about it. Let the American people know what we're dealing with here. Let's get people who, haven't at least committed illegal and unethical activities on a regular basis. Is that possible to have somebody decent in Congress? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not.
All right.
And speaking of Democrat lawmakers, Congressman Al Green spoke about Israel and Hamas over the weekend.
Mr. Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, had an unholy acceptance of Hamas as an enemy. An unholy acceptance of Hamas as an enemy. And he had this unholy acceptance because it benefited him, as he sees the world, in my opinion, to have an enemy that would not agree to a two-state solution, that said that it wanted to eliminate Israel. Hamas ought not exist. We want Israel to exist, and we want Palestine to exist. Hamas has had control of the Palestinian people. Everyone has acknowledged, it seems to me, most people who have with credibility, that Hamas has taken the Palestinians as hostages. Well, I
Except
happen to
they
believe
voted for 'em.
in a two-state solution. And Mr. Netanyahu was cleverly using Hamas to avoid having to deal with the two-state solution, because he could always say, well, I don't have a partner to work with because Hamas wants to eliminate Israel, and I can't negotiate with someone who wants to eliminate Israel.
And again, that's true. So, yeah, he did have that because it's true. Jeez. Oh, these people and their weird machinations to get to supporting Hamas.
Right.
I mean, nothing is the fault of the Palestinians. Nothing. Even the fact that they voted for him, even the fact that they supported, to the tune of 75% of Palestinians supported the action they took on October 7th, murdering Jews by the thousands. And it's not their fault. It's still not their fault. It's Benjamin Netanyahu. It's Israel. It's us. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just incredible.
I saw this tweet over the weekend. It's so sad. This 13-year-old Israeli girl being handed back over into Israel and smiling and waving. Because remember, we've heard that the Hamas terrorists are saying, you better smile. You better make it look like we treated you well and you had a great time here. And then, of course, people online were saying how, like, he's not going to marry you, or it just mocking this poor 13-year-old girl with her waving and smiling. That 13-year-old girl who had to witness her brother being murdered right in front of her.
Yeah.
I mean, that's who you're dealing with here, Al Green.
Yeah.
You're dealing with bloodthirsty terrorists who have no interest in a two-state solution. Stop. They want a one-state solution, and they don't want Israel to be that state.
From the river to the sea. That's what they want.
Wait, I thought the lady taught us last week it's from the mountains to the sea.
Yeah, or was it the prairie?
Prairie.
There's a whole bunch of different...
What mountains you talking about there? I don't remember. I can't
I'm not
remember.
Sure.
Go back
really
and watch
sure.
Friday's show if you didn't see that. Oh, gosh.
Pathetic.
Useful idiots everywhere.
And by the way, it is starting to trickle out now what these hostages went through. Just nightmarish stories of torture and starvation and you name it, and they went through it with Hamas. So they did not have a good time. It was not party time in the Gaza for these people. And did they wave and smile? Well, yeah. Because they didn't want to be killed before they got back to Israel. Who knows what threats the animals made against them? Who knows? Jeez. Let's take a look at London, where Muslims showed up to pray in front of Parliament.
Oh, good. All right, there we go. So now we send this video because didn't we recently learn, Pat, that praying on the street corner in Britain is illegal?
Oh, yeah.
Did we learn that recently?
I think we did.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we did.
All right. I guess it depends on. All right, I can't take the Muslim chanting. Anyway, but I guess now oh my goodness, you want to really test the limits of British law there, have those guys show up and pray in front of an abortion clinic.
Yeah. I wonder what would happen then.
Oh, I'd love to see what would happen then.
And what's with the TikTok trend right now of people talking about the Quran? It started with this trans guy last week.
Just started reading the Quran, and I am so excited about it. People thought when I first asked that I just wanted to read it out of curiosity, but I want to read it to study it. I started following somebody on social media that teaches the Quran and hosts a Quran book club for Muslims and non-Muslims, so I'm really excited to start going to that. She was describing the chapter of the bee, and that just blew my mind. Like, the way that she describes things, the way that the Quran describes things actually makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And also, did you know that Allah is beyond gender? Did you know, that actually scholars believe that there are two Qurans, the Quran of nature and the Quran, the actual book? And did you know that each chapter is named after a natural phenomenon? I
can literally see your mustache, dude.
And I am so excited. I got sticky notes so that I could mark out things that I was drawn to. And I'm not even through the first chapter, and I already have a bunch of sticky notes. I'm definitely going to have to buy more tabs.
You have a sticky note where it says they kill you if they had a chance? You have a sticky note on that?
Believe in are actually described in the Quran of believing in Allah, and I've never thought that I believed in God before, and now I'm really having a revolution of self.
Look at that!
I think I actually believe in God. If you've been curious, I really recommend it. There are a lot of people who are converting. There's a lot of people who are reading it. I'm not saying I'm going to convert. I'm not saying that I wouldn't. And I don't
need to go shave. What you need to be doing?
Exactly what I need right now. I just wanted to say thank you and just point out how excited I am.
How excited are you when they throw you off the top of a building when they get a chance? Will you be excited about that?
Why do you do it? Why do you have to? The guy's having a
he's having a.
I almost said come to Jesus
really
moment,
joyous
come
time.
to Allah moment, and then you're hey, you're trying to burst his little bubble.
Yeah, apologize.
But yeah, it's a weird trend now, huh?
Yeah, here's a bunch of the Quran talk on TikTok.
Okay.
I started reading Quran.
I just started reading the Quran.
How?
So I've been reading the Quran.
Yeah.
And I have
Salam. Good morning.
What up?
And this is why so many people are starting to read the Quran.
Don't cry.
So I ordered a Quran, and I just wanted to show you how heavy.
Okay, so I'm an ex-Christian reading the Quran.
Oh my
Today, I'm going to go through
Nice hair.
fighting war. I started reading the Quran. This is the
We're on the Quran, and we're on Joseph.
All right.
So I have started already tonight a little bit.
Sticky
It
notes
is my
there,
first
too.
time reading the Quran. I thought I would share my thoughts on the food.
This sentence from the Quran just answered a question I.
Okay, guys, so I got the Quran.
Cool.
I got like a version that I.
So I'm an atheist who recently got a copy of the Clear Quran to start reading.
I just started reading the Quran, and I am so
there he is
excited
again.
about
Good.
He's on there.
That's so great. Well, wait till you find out just how tolerant and wonderful Islam is for all you people. I can't wait until you discover that. You're going to be so excited. So excited at the reason that they don't have any homosexuals in, for instance, Iran.
Huh.
Yeah, because they kill them when they find them.
Did you skip ahead?
The
book club.
I must have.
You're supposed to wait until
I
the
know,
meeting,
darn
bro,
it.
and then we
I'm
can all
sorry.
talk about it at the same time.
Sorry.
You're giving it
I got
away.
a little impatient. Oh, these people.
Yeah.
So
I remember
stupid.
after 9/11 happened, I remember we had a Quran in the studio there in Houston. We were doing the show, and I would look at it as like a reference book. And but no, it's apparently taken off. As
apparently,
it's the last book of the year, I guess, on the 2023 reading program.
Yeah.
So a lot of people enjoying.
So congratulations on that. All right, let me tell you about Patriot Mobile. For more than 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. They stand behind their values and their exceptional service. They're an example of putting the cause ahead of the profits because they really believe in these things. It's one of the reasons I'm really proud to partner with them. Patriot Mobile is extending their Black Friday deal to the Every Friday Matters deal. And you can get a free smartphone. Free when you switch today. Patriot Mobile offers dependable nationwide coverage, giving you access to all three major networks. And that means, of course, you get the same coverage that you've been accustomed to, but you don't fund the left. Not their abortion through Planned Parenthood, not efforts to take away our guns. No, you're supporting free speech, religious freedom, the sanctity of life, and our veterans and first responders. Plus, their 100% U.S.-based customer service team makes switching Really easy. Keep your phone number, change it, keep your existing phone, or for a limited time, you can get a free smartphone from Patriot Mobile. Go to patriotmobile.com/Pat, or you can call 972-PATRIOT. Use the promo code Friday76, and you can get a free smartphone with the promo code Friday76. Limited time offer. So join me, make the switch today. PatriotMobile.com/Pat or 972-PATRIOT.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right, got some tweets here. DMXDM, Old Man Biden teaching a 4-year class on how to destroy a country. Official scheduler for Congressman Trump. What's the difference between a trillion and billion between friends? Right. That's a good question. Holy smokes, 1776. The scary part is Fetterman actually sounds like a rocket scientist compared to when the people of Pennsylvania elected him.
Right.
Nuclear Christmas spirit. Fetterman making sense. It really must be the apocalypse. Right-wing conspiracist. So Fetterman makes perfect sense with Israel and Menendez. What's next? Fire and brimstone, rivers and seas boiling, dead rising from the grave, human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. Yes.
Oh.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's exactly right. All right. An interesting church here with an interesting pastor has been remembering trans people who
that's
have
good.
died over the past years. It's really nice. Yeah, it's
Nice
Hi,
gesture.
everyone. I'm Reverend Ben. I use he and they pronouns. And tomorrow
He and
is
they.
the Trans Day of Remembrance. And as we honor that in this space, we're going to begin our prayer by reading a list of names of all the trans folks killed in the last year in the United States. Knowing that trans violence goes woefully underreported, knowing that this list of names will not be complete,
No, of course not.
we gather to bestow honor and sacredness to folks in this place who should have received it while they were living.
Okay. Wow.
We remember Lakendra Andrews and London Price. God, you have told us that we are wonderfully created in your image. And so we know that when trans siblings are killed, it is a crucifixion.
Oh, wow.
Wait, what?
A killing of the indwelling Christ.
Yeah.
And that if we are to be Christian, we cannot look away from the cross.
Oh, no.
And so, God, let us be that resurrection. It creates different circumstances that helps every person know that they are beloved and beautiful and wondrous and holy.
Yeah.
Exactly as you created them. As they co-create bodies, co-create love, co-create lives with your blessedness.
Wow.
Bless these names we have read, knowing that you hold them close to your breast.
Don't do that, Pat.
Gathering them
Don't
as a
cheapen
mother
this.
hen
Sorry.
gathers her chicks.
You're right.
Pass the plate.
Now, as
You okay? Dude,
they
you're
are
right.
holy, and they are yours.
They're holy and they're yours. Wow. Why? Just because they died or got killed, they're holy?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
does he know anything about any of those people?
I mean,
why they died, how they died, who killed them?
And didn't KJP tell us there's a lot more? He only got to 2, and then he got distracted by his whiny ADD there. But
didn't we talked about this last week?
Lakendra,
right? There were 24.
Andrews.
There were
I looked,
24 people.
Yeah, that's an unsolved mystery. We have no idea why that individual was killed. And police are still investigating. So, but trans. So we got to make sure to put that in the old prayers. And then
we don't want to pray for any of the heterosexuals who were killed last year, though, right?
Right. Stick to the script.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
sorry.
Trans remembrance.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So London Price killed in a domestic dispute.
Not
presumably
by a
not
domestic
because,
partner.
Right. Not because presumably.
Yeah. Hate.
You were trans.
Right.
I mean, it's so misleading. And I thought if you're. I mean, because Pastor Ben, obviously a man of the cloth.
Obviously.
Had
a big cloth around his neck.
You don't want to be misleading your flock.
No.
Pastor Ben.
You don't want to. Well, apparently he does want to, because that's exactly what he was doing there. So, but that's fine. You know, that's That's fine. Let's just make a really big issue out of things that we don't even know were any sort of issue. He's obviously alluding to the fact that they were all killed by hateful others who are not transgender, who just hated them because they were transgender, and that's why they were murdered.
Yeah. You mentioned his cloth. I want to take another look. Can we see? I want to see that. Boy, that's colorful.
Yeah, nice cloth. That's nice.
That's
great. It's a cute outfit. It's a great pastor outfit. So.
Wonder what is that? That's not the Advent or something. What are we doing there? Like, what is that represent? Look at this. It's got the Black Power fist on there. A little socialist going.
Yeah, that's great.
That's good stuff.
Oh man. All right.
Church.
Let me tell you about real estate agents I trust, because if you're buying your house, you're selling a house, you're doing both and relocating, you need somebody who can help you through this process, somebody who knows answers to really tough questions like, how much money should I spend getting my house ready to sell? Will I get my money out of it? If I start, renovating everything, will I get the money back from doing it? Important decisions. You need a really good realtor to help you through it. And Glenn's team this is his company, and his team fully vets these agents to make sure they're the best in your area with really great marketing plans and with great track records. These are successful people who can get your house sold for the most money possible, or when you're buying, get you the most house for your money. So as the housing market gets back on its feet, you got to decide what's right for you and your family, but get expert help too. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. Go to realestateagentsitrust.com. That's realestateagentsitrust.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Not quite as dynamic as, say, Go Tell It on the Mountain. Which goes a little something like, Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain.
Yeah.
That Jesus Christ is born.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I'm in the Christmas spirit for sure.
Right? Because that's what does it every year for us.
Yeah.
Go tell it on the mountain.
By the way, patheads.com, Rowdy Introvert, a pathead who runs that site, has added the Pat Gray rendition of Go Tell It on the Mountain. Patheads.com.
Okay.
So you can enjoy it and have the Christmas spirit when just on demand.
Yes. Something else that could help you get in the spirit. Go to Keksi.com right now, KEKSI.com, and get one of our Christmas boxes before they're gone. Those are selling fast. Will almost certainly sell out today. The Christmas box that is beautifully done. It costs. What did I say last week? I think it was $4,836 a piece.
And 12 cents.
Okay. That's what it cost us. That's not what we're charging you for them. But that's the only way you can still get the Boston cream pie cookie. We're including it in that Christmas box along with the really delicious cinnamon roll cookie. You're going to love them both. And anything else you get there. But we're also doing a really big sweepstakes promotion for Christmas. We've created 5 golden tickets, each with their own prize.
What?
Yeah. The grand prize winner gets a free trip for 2 to Hawaii.
Nice. What?
I know, right? I know. The other 4 winners get a specialty box of cookies and a $100 gift card. There's no purchase necessary to enter, but when you're purchasing a box of the cookies, you can enter the promotion by check marking the opt-in box while selecting your cookies. And you must opt into the promotion. So all orders that opt in will be held until December 10th, though, because that's when the promotion ends. And then, I don't know, there's some legal process that we have to abide by. So remember, no purchase necessary. It's open to U.S. residents 18 and over. Sweepstakes started Friday. They end on the 10th. See official rules at Kexi.com/official rules for details. And keep in mind, the shipping cutoff to get your order for sure by Christmas is December 16th. So Kexi.com for that. And you might win a really nice trip to Hawaii. You can eat some really delicious cookies on the flight to Hawaii. Be really cool. We all know that our world is completely upside down right now.
Our world?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, this one that we currently live in. Not some alternative
wait a minute.
place.
We just played a pastor spreading love.
Right. Yes.
How is this a weird,
beautiful,
upside-down
beautiful,
world?
beautiful love? And I have more beautiful love to share with you.
Oh, good.
An old-fashioned, traditional, polyamorous American family.
Oh, no.
Just good old-fashioned values. Here's a look into their existence.
I like
So we are a polyamorous quad, which means that we have 4 parents in our family. This little baby in the back, I carried.
Okay.
And Alicia carried these 3 here.
Oh, that's nice.
The 2 older ones were already around when we met. And the 2 babies, we don't know and don't care to know who their biological father is.
Oh, they don't care to know.
No.
So when the 4 of us first met, it wasn't supposed to be anything but physical. We did not have any intentions of catching feelings for each other. That didn't really go as planned. We met and started talking and couldn't get enough of each other. I remember Sean and Alicia saying that they had a conversation one night saying that they felt like boyfriend and girlfriend. Like when they were talking, they felt like they were dating. And that led to lots of other conversations, including telling Tyler and I that it's okay to have feelings, that this, it's not realistic to think that that's not going to happen in the, just like in the environment that we were spending time in and the capacity that we were spending time in. It was very obvious that we already had feelings.
Very
but both
obvious.
Tyler and I were like, nah, bro, like that's my
Oh, boy.
We did not want to admit it. We were not trying to go down that path.
Taya, Alicia, Sean, and Tyler are now in a polyamorous quad relationship. And have recently welcomed their 5th baby to the family.
Oh,
Who's
wonderful.
that?
This is beautiful.
Oh, it's his dad. His dad,
Where's
see?
Dad?
Wait.
Who's that?
Wait.
Oh, my mom. Good job. Who's that, Mom? Who's that? Dada.
Oh, wait a minute.
Where's Daddy? There he is.
Oh, that kid's screwed up already.
What?
Do they all live in the same house?
Wait, the baby called the one upside down world.
Oh, yeah, we're in an upside down world. Oh, cool.
Yeah, did you catch that though? You catch that? The kid's so confused.
Oh man.
He's calling the mom dad. Gee.
Oh boy.
I'm sure that's not a problem.
What could possibly go wrong?
Blood rush to the head here.
What could possibly go wrong?
Those kids are going to be so
well adjusted.
They're
you
fine.
kidding me?
They're fine.
No, this is the way to do it. That's the way to do it. It's your money for nothing and your chicks and babies for free. It's good. It's really good.
So
wow,
boy, wish they were my neighbors.
Jeez, wow.
I don't know, man. What a weird world.
Yep.
What a strange world.
Got an interesting story out of Great Britain as well.
Oh no, what?
Where the parents of a transgender teenager have lost their bid to stop her mastectomy.
Oh no.
She's a non-binary though. She's non-binary, Keith.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then I should just.
Yeah. So did you take that into account?
Stand down. Yeah. Sorry.
In your narrow-minded little head. 17-year-old girl, obviously, failed in their bid to prevent her from having her breast removed.
Terrible.
After they were accused of believing that LGBTQ plus people were evil and satanic. The parents had asked the High Court in London for an injunction banning their child from having a mastectomy. How dare you? They also sought to have the teenager made a subject of a psychiatric report claiming their child's sexual preferences were symptoms of a mental illness.
No, wait, where are you getting that?
Well, I don't know, from a medical journal, but I mean, clear back, like in the dark ages. Remember the Renaissance period in 2015? Remember that time? When, there were Knights of the Round Table and stuff. Remember those days?
That's crazy, man.
That's before we were enlightened, of course.
Yeah.
But we're enlightened now.
There are dragons in 2015?
Yes. flying all over the place. It's why, we're all glad we weren't around at that time.
I miss the the dragons.
8 years ago when this was considered a mental illness. Oh, man.
Bring back the chastity belt.
They also sought to have the teenager made a subject of the psychiatric report, but a high court judge refused to grant the injunction, saying that while their child was only 17, they'd turn 18 within days of the hearing and would therefore be able to give consent to gender-affirming treatment as an adult.
Well, thank goodness.
The Honorable Justice McDonald ruled it would be wholly disproportionate to permit an expert to examine the teenager. Yeah, that would be crazy to have somebody, I don't know, check her over, look into where her mind is right now.
This is not a good timeline that we're on.
Wow, jeez.
Okay, so but they're not coming for your children.
No. Well,
right?
Yes, they are. I mean, they sang as much. They did say so, and they told us outright, we're coming for your children.
Yeah, they did say that.
But then they said, it's just a joke.
But I feel like it wasn't, though.
We're kidding. I feel like that, too, sometimes. But, of course, that's just our hatred shining through. That's all that is. But the government has just overruled parenting. And so they're going to allow this teenager, she's 17, she's going to have a double mastectomy. Isn't that wonderful? And then I'm sure she could never regret that.
No.
What could ever go wrong with that?
All of the problems in her life are going to be fixed now.
Oh, yeah. She's going to be so happy now and feel comfortable in her own skin and her own body. It's going to feel like, that's hers now. That's not yours. It doesn't belong to you.
Yeah, she won't have the problems that 8-week-olds in America have.
Yeah, well... You talking about terrorists?
I'm talking about
the
terrorists.
8-week-old baby we're going to tell you about in a minute here?
I didn't see that coming.
Make no mistake, though, we're fighting a spiritual battle here as we protect the most innocent among us, babies in their mother's womb. Preborn stands on the front lines of this battle, and they position their networks in the highest abortion areas, often right next to the abortion mill, like Planned Parenthood, where unspeakable evil takes place every day. Well, Preborn offers God's love and life to protect hurting women and precious preborn babies. Every time a baby is saved, which happens 200 times a day, good conquers evil. So please make your most generous gift to empower good and rescue precious souls. For just $28, you can sponsor an ultrasound that doubles a baby's chance at life. To donate securely, dial pound 250, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, or just go to preborn.com/Pat. That's preborn.com/Pat.
And there were in the same country shepherds, abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them. And the glory of the Lord shone round about them. And they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not. For behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host praising God, and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown.
This is Pat Gray.
Last week we told you about these federal air marshals that are doing some really incredible work for the federal government. Really incredible.
Well, for the people.
Yes, more specifically for not the people. I mean, people, yes, but illegal aliens in particular. Like they're picking up Uber Eats orders for them. They're taking them to doctor's visits.
Right.
They're doing important work. They're even investigating an infant, 8-week-old infant, for being a possible terrorist.
Look.
Don't let the fact that this 2-month-old baby can't crawl yet, don't let that fool you. I mean, that's some pretty great subterfuge there.
Yeah, you've changed some diapers in your time.
Oh, yeah. I know what they can do. I know what they're capable of.
They can drop some
They can drop some bombs. Exactly right. So, Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that the homeland is secure.
Yeah.
What does baby do? Did it spit up more times than is acceptable in polite society?
Don't be ridiculous, Keith.
What?
I see what you're doing. You're trying to minimize
I'm just
this dangerous infant, aren't you? You know, the baby's parents are being watched because they went to Washington, D.C. in January of 2021.
Okay, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Right. And so what was this baby to do but learn from these despicable parents? This 8-week-old baby is on the terrorist watch list, and it's not just one air marshal that will be assigned. It's a minimum of 3. You'll have 3 air marshals following this 8-week-old baby, no matter if the baby travels with the grandparents.
Okay.
If the baby just travels with cousins, doesn't matter. Once the baby's on the list, by their name, the baby is going to stay on that list. The infant's father was allegedly charged for entering. Wow.
Okay. See, now
the father actually went into the Capitol building on January 6th.
Okay.
Now it all comes into focus, doesn't it?
And you left out some details.
Let's see. This person from her name's Hightower Labasco. She's the director, right, of the Federal Air Marshals.
Right. Yep.
She explained that the man's fiance and baby in question were flying to Puerto Rico to visit family when it was revealed that the child was on the terror watch list. Of course, at the time of the alleged crime by the baby's father, the baby had not yet been born. Don't even start with me on that.
It was in the womb plotting.
Yeah, right. It heard. It knew.
All kidding aside, how soon until this government just takes the kid away from the parents?
It can't be soon enough, frankly. Right? It can't.
No,
Is that what you're saying?
No, I said all kidding aside.
It can't be soon enough.
What an upside down world.
An 8-week old baby.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Imagine the damage this kid could do to society in 8 months.
Oh my God. I can't even.
Right.
You're talking mushroom clouds within 8 months.
Right. Yeah, let's revisit the story next summer.
Yeah.
And see what this kid's up to.
Right. And then you tell me whether you're thankful this kid's being followed around the country or not.
And by the way, did you see we had an update on Derek Chauvin serving the 22 years?
This is good.
Yeah.
This is good.
So what did we find out about the guy who stabbed him?
Well, he's a gang member.
Okay.
And he's been a gang member for a good long time, was serving a 30-year sentence, was about to be released in 2026.
Okay.
And he attacked him on Black Friday, November 24th, as a tribute to Black Lives Matter.
Black Friday.
Black Friday
specifically did it
not about black people, my friend. It's
who's going to tell him?
It means that businesses are likely to go into the black on that day because that's when they do a lot of business.
What's that mean? What does that mean? It was 22 stabs to
stabbed 22 times, almost killed.
Wow.
He said would have killed him too had the guards not acted as quickly as they did. So apparently
was a bad dude.
Yeah, and then another fun fact about this prisoner is that he was say it with me, an FBI informant.
All right, an FBI informant. Did I make it there? Or?
You got there.
Okay,
you got there.
All right.
You didn't say it with me.
You
didn't say it with me, so it kind of lost a little bit of its punch.
The timing wasn't great,
but
on my part.
I'm sure there's no connection there at all.
No, I don't even know what you're alluding to. I'm not even going to try to hazard a guess.
That this happens right after the news breaks that the autopsy. You, Mr. Chauvin, got a raw deal. Maybe we should revisit your case. And if there's no Derek Chauvin living among us, or living period,
then you don't have to revisit.
You don't have to revisit it.
That is interesting.
Hey, remember that? Don't we have surely we have an FBI informant in that prison that we could, rekindle a relationship with. Yeah, we do? Oh, cool.
And, they did. Some would say maybe that's exactly what happened. Not me, of course. I'm not that cynical about the U.S. government.
No.
But some people might.
No, and besides, I mean, I would never be cynical about this government. They're protecting us from lethal 8-week-olds.
Yeah, and thank heaven for that.
Yeah.
Because who knows what kind of damage they could be doing right now.
Stuff.
All these babies that are plotting right now against us. Plotting against the United States of America. They haven't learned yet at 8 weeks.
Have they?
What a great country this is.
Have they raided that kid's crib yet?
No.
Because we don't know what kind of stuff he's been working on.
We have no idea. No idea whatsoever.
I mean, could be bad. But there's only one way to find out. And
send the FBI.
It's only a matter of time before the FBI is knocking down doors to the nursery.
Well, it can't happen soon enough for my money. It just can't happen soon enough. Also, this is fun. The Pentagon has asked for $114 million to spend on diversity, equity, and inclusion.
I want to point something out here. Whenever Pat says this is fun, is it ever really fun?
Sometimes, every once in a while.
Okay.
Yeah,
just checking to see if it's actually okay.
But they're requesting about $114 million to finance their latest round of diversity initiatives because it's important, The DoD plans to use the funds for diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. So that's a new one. DEIA programs for fiscal 2024. Thank you for finally including accessibility.
I was about to say, I'm
Where's
not
that
familiar
been?
with the A.
Yeah, I hadn't been either.
Oh my
so
gosh.
Thank goodness now, finally, they're making things accessible.
Hold on. When do we start adding the plus sign? DEIA plus. Because at some point you got to be
At
like,
some point
all
you're
right.
gonna have to.
I think 4 is the limit on letters before we start just adding.
Yeah,
plus.
pluses.
DEIA plus.
Unbelievable. I love this story, and I think you're going to join me too in your admiration for it. They're warning of a lot of bad things coming our way this winter. For instance, first it started with an epidemic, right? Then it was a pandemic.
Okay.
Then it was a triple-demic.
Oh, wow.
Now,
what do we got?
They're looking forward this winter to a syndemic.
A what?
A syndemic.
Not heard of this at all.
I have never heard of it until this very morning when I
Too
found
much
this
sinning
story.
going on in America?
No, because they don't have a better word for, because it's more than a triple-demic. There's more than 3 pandemics going on at the same time.
Quadridemic.
Keith. Don't pretend like
not a quadridemic.
You don't know. No, because it's more than 4.
Oh.
It's more than 5. So a syndemic, I guess that covers the spectrum. It could be up to 1 billion.
Okay.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
Is it SIN? Or
it's SYN.
SYN.
Yeah. Like synthetic.
Okay, good.
Okay. So one of these scientists, doctors, a dean of research and associate professor at the New York Institute of Technology, coined this phrase because triple-demic just didn't cover anywhere near what we're facing this winter.
Okay.
Strained hospital capacities, workforce exhaustion, burnout, a lack of effective therapeutic tools, poor communication, a lack of compliance with COVID precautions, a lack of continuity planning, and the pervasive influence of social determinants of health are making the nation's delicate health infrastructure even more fragile.
Got it?
Okay. So COVID wastewater levels are high and again headed upward, on track to surpass their 2023 peaks, which occurred in September. And so...
But if we wear a mask, will that stop it?
Oh, yeah, everything could be fine.
Okay.
You need to couple that, of course, with closing things down in your area.
Oh, wow.
And the social distancing.
And that's how we stop the
and we'll stop it in
SYN.
its tracks. Because there's the flu.
Okay.
There's RSV. They're on the rise.
My face.
There is COVID.
No, I don't want to hear it.
And there is this new pneumonia thing.
Yeah.
And there are just other sundry illnesses.
And that's a syndemic.
It's a syndemic that's coming. Yeah.
Cool.
So
I'm here for
another
it.
thing to be afraid of, and another thing the government needs to save us from.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll be shutting everything down really super soon.
Now, I have not confirmed this, but I did hear a rumor that they had a suspect in mind that was going to bring us this syndemic.
The 8-week-old baby. Yeah.
So
that's how these two stories tie in together.
If you know an 8-week-old baby, wear a mask around it.
And stay 6 feet away from it at all times. All right. We'll be back tomorrow to fix whatever loose ends we didn't tie up today. See you then.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
I represent science.